Hello friends, welcome back to my channel once again. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all are well. So today I'm back again with another creative recipe, and this recipe I have created especially for Ramadan. I have started working on Ramadan recipes, so most probably I'm going to share some creative fusions of Middle East and French desserts. So let's begin with this recipe now. First we are preparing the genoise, and you can see the ingredients over here. We have sugar, butter, eggs, and we have milk, we have flour, we have corn flour as well, and then we have honey here. So let me tell you, when I just prepared this recipe, there was a problem with my flour actually. I have just changed my flour a few days before. So what I did is I just melted butter in the milk. Okay, so by the time my eggs and sugar mixture will be ready, the eggs temperature will come down. Okay, so now I have just added eggs here with a little bit of vanilla. Okay, and I am going to start whisking. I will whisk it until I will see a nice small and some big bubbles. Okay, so let's do this together. And you don't have to put very high speed. My mixer is quite powerful, so now you can see some big bubbles. Yeah, so I will just keep on doing mixing, and we actually look for some small, some big bubbles. Okay, so at this stage I am going to add honey in it. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I will just add honey, and I will keep mixing again. Okay, so we are almost there. Now in this stage we can see very big bubbles actually, but it's okay. I am just going to add some flour and corn flour. Okay, and we are just going to cut the mixture and then fold it. Cut the mixture and fold it. This is the technique. Okay, so add little by little. Okay, it's almost there. We are just going slowly, and the third part is waiting in my hand. I will add that part as well. Once I see that the previously added flour is mixed, then we are going to add the other portion. Okay, so we have to keep patience. Okay, so we are almost there. In the end we are going to add the butter and milk mixture, and make sure the temperature of that mixture is 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, so it reaches to the temperature actually, and I'm going to add this in there nicely. I'm going to fold. Okay, and now we will prepare the tray, and we are going to bake this on 160 degrees Celsius for 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven, that how it is. You can see some small, some big bubbles. So this is the point where you have to reach. Okay, so let's bake this now. The problem is that my oven tray was little big, so it's a little bit thick from one side, thin from one side, but we will manage, don't worry about it. And I will just cut small slices of the sponge for the next layer, and then we will manage it to joint those. Okay, so we will cut these now, and let's just do this, and then we will move it to next stage. Okay, so for the next stage, you know that the name of the cake is Frasier. I did not mention in the beginning. So Frasier is basically strawberry. We have a strawberry here, sugar here, and pectin here. Okay, pectin NH is here. So I'm just going to mix pectin NH with the sugar, and then I am using here frozen strawberry. If you want, you can use fresh as well, but in the frozen strawberries they will release more juices here. So that's the reason I'm using frozen, and I'm using whole strawberry. Okay, the reason is because I want to mash them as per my choice. So let it cook first, and release all the ice and water in it and the juice, and then we will start mashing them. I have added little bit of vanilla here, okay, just to give a nice taste. And then we will keep it cooking until we see that the strawberries are soft. Okay, so just keep cooking. Okay, and you can also do one thing, that you can put your sugar into two parts, and then you can add one part of sugar here and one part you can mix it with pectin NH. But I am not doing that. You can use this method as well. Okay, you can divide the sugar into two parts. So now the strawberry starts to release water and juice both. So we will keep on cooking until we see everything is soft and easily mashable. Okay, so you are just watching that the strawberry is softened now, and I'm trying to mash it with my spatula. Okay, I'm not going to mash them completely. I am just going to leave them a little bit of chunks as well. So it, when you are going to taste it, you will feel a strawberry in your mouth. So when the strawberries are mashed, you have to add sugar and pectin in shower method. I'm so sorry, I was not able to record that part. Okay. So after, you have to cool it down, and let's move to the next step. We are making here cream patisserie but pistachio based. So I have here cream and small part of milk, egg yolks. We have some corn flour here. We have butter. We have cocoa butter. We have pistachio paste. I put my pistachio paste recipe previously before. And then here is another part of cream, which is the bigger part. And then we have gelatin mass. Okay, so let's begin. First, I put the milk and the small part of cream on boiling, and then I'm just adding a little bit of sugar, corn flour and egg yolks in one pan, and the bigger part I am going to add in the boiling milk. Okay, so you can see here I just did that, and I will let it boil again, and meanwhile we will mix sugar, yolk and corn flour. Okay, over here. So basically there was one sugar, but we divided into two parts. Half of the sugar I just put in the milk and cream mixture, and the other part I am mixing here with the egg yolks and corn flour. So while our milk is boiling, when it reaches to boiling stage 80 degrees Celsius, we are going to deglaze the egg yolk. Okay, so it's almost mixed this part, and I just want to make sure that there's no lumps of corn flour, and then I am going to deglaze this with the boiling milk. Okay, let's do this small amount, and then I'm going to mix this. I want to make sure that this is 80 degrees Celsius, the milk temperature, so the eggs won't cook actually. Okay, and then we, after mixing this, we are going to add this mixture to the boiling milk. Okay, and after that we will put it back on the stove and keep cooking until it thickens, it becomes like a custard. Okay, so you just have to keep stirring, make sure the eggs won't curdle, and it doesn't gives you the omelette. Okay, so you have to keep stirring. So don't move your eyes from this, because it takes few minutes to ruin this process. So just keep stirring and keep your eyes over here, keep your full attention here. So my custard is almost ready. Now I want to make sure that my custard is not too hot for the next process. Okay, and the next process is to add gelatin mass here. Okay, so for adding gelatin mass here, you have to make sure the custard temperature is 80 70 to 80 degrees Celsius, between that. Okay, so I'm just going to mix the gelatin mass. You have to make sure that all the gelatin melts. And by the way, I am using fish gelatin here, and the proportion is 1:5. So 1 part of gelatin and 5 part of water. Okay, so now I am going to add the cocoa butter at this stage when the custard temperature is 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that all the cocoa butter melts in there and there is no tidbits. Okay, so after mixing the cocoa butter, we are going to add here 100% pistachio paste. And I have mentioned that I just used homemade pistachio paste. I never use the pistachio paste from outside. I make my own pistachio paste, and I have mentioned the recipes in my backlog, so you can just see. Okay, so now I am just going to give first a good hand mix. Okay, and then we are going to emulsify this with a hand blender. So let me just do this. So I am going to make sure that everything is mixed nicely in the custard, like my pistachio paste, gelatin, and there is no lumps. For that, I just want to make sure that everything comes in a nice one homogeneous mixture. So that is the reason to use hand blender. Okay, and you can use any type of hand blender, it doesn't matter. Okay, so after that I am going to add butter. Okay, and then I will emulsify again. Meanwhile, I have whipped my cream and to the soft peak, and when I will add this mixture to the soft cream, you have to make sure the temperature remains of this one to 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, so let's move to the next step. I will just clean the mixture, my mixer here. Okay, so now we are going to mix both the mixtures together. Okay, and I have actually made a mistake here. My cream is slightly over whipped, so don't do this mistake by yourself, because I cannot do anything, so I have to take it this way. Okay, so you have to whip your cream till the soft peaks. Mine is just gone to the second stage, and of course that is that is not a problem, but the final texture will be affected by this. Okay, so I mix everything nicely. Now move to the next part. Okay, what I did here is I am using a triangular shape uh, mold, you can say, and I have actually covered from inside with this cake collar. Okay, and then we are just going to put the broken sponge layer first. Okay, inside, and after that, let me just fix this, the small part, so that everything is nicely fixed. Okay, now we are putting strawberries. Okay, since the name is Frasier, so we have to use a lot of strawberries here. I'm going to put all the strawberries in the corner, and don't worry, this will fix, because you are going to pipe the cream diplomat. So just finish this. Okay, okay, so now I'm back. Okay, you can see it, this cake is already looking very beautiful, but we have to move to the next step. So what is the next step? So the next step is we are going to actually put our strawberry confit or Frasier confiture. Okay, we are just going to nicely put a very nice layer. So when we cut, you will see everything in in nice layers. So I'm just going to put a generous amount of confiture here. Okay, and I will try to smooth it out also. Okay, so what is the next step? Next step is you are going to add a crushed pistachio here. This is optional. If you want, you can omit this step. but I like to add texture, so I added pistachio here. Okay, and this was in some big and small chunks. So now I'm just going to put the cream patisserie, okay, the pistachio flavor in the corner. I have to make sure that there's a nice layer of it. Okay, and it's a little bit runny right now because my kitchen temperature was little hot and I did not leave it in the fridge as well. So now I just want to make sure that this layer sets well. And after that we are going to add on top of this the second layer of our sponge. Okay, so I'm just going to fix it in there. And I will press a little bit, so it sticks to our cream patisserie. After that, another generous amount of strawberry confiture. So we try to put this nice amount of confiture here. Okay, and I will try to put nicely, and then on top again the crushed pistachio. And after that we are going to pipe another layer till the top to cover everything. Okay, so after filling till the top we are going to leave this in the freezer for the overnight. Okay, and we will move to the next step the next day. Okay, so let's put this in the freezer right now. Okay, so the next day what I have here is phyllo dough. Okay, I'm using uh, the ready-made phyllo dough which is already available, and there are some sheets here. I have just few sheets left because I used it in some another recipe as well, so these are small sheets which I have left. So what I'm going to do right here is I have covered the tray into the butter, and then I'm going to add the phyllo dough, and then I'm going to brush them with the butter. And it's up to you how you want to build the layers, and that's it. So I'm just going to add crushed pistachio, evenly distribute it, and then I will cover more with the phyllo dough on the top. And then you try to bring them in the cube, and you have to bake this 180 degrees Celsius for approximately 30 minutes. So here is our baklava, very beautiful and nicely done. And some are the broken pieces over there, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so I have prepared sugar syrup. I mentioned the recipe on the screen, and you can prepare your sugar syrup like that and just put it on the top of the baklava. So after preparing baklava, I took out the cake from the freezer and I have released it from the mold by using the heat gun. Okay, so just make sure, take your time to release the cake, and you can see it's already been released, but it's a little bit icy right now. I'm going to remove the cover. Okay, and then on the top, when our baklava is cold, we are going to arrange this on the top of this cake. Okay, so we have to wait for it. So now our cake is already cooled down and the baklava is already cooled down. I'm going to arrange the baklava on the top, and since I'm not expert on this and my knife was not sharp enough, so I am just going to arrange it 2 to 3 pieces like that. Okay, it was better actually when I have used the same pan and arranged the baklava in that pan, but unfortunately I had only one pan like this. But when I use the square one, I will show you, you will see it was very nicely arranged on the square one. So let me try to manage this one. Okay, and I will come back. So now you can see the baklava is sitting on the top of the Frasier, and I'm going to add some more pistachio on the top to make it a bit more tempting. And this is also optional. You can add more syrup on the top, you can add more pistachios on the top. It's completely up to you. Okay, so you can see our baklava is ready with the Frasier, and this is actually Frasier baklava. and this is looking very beautiful. And I will show you the inside of this baklava Frasier as well. And we enjoyed this a lot because there was only less sugar in it. And you will see when you will prepare this baklava Frasier at home for your friends and family. You can see the beautiful slices and the layer of the cake. So I hope you have enjoyed the recipe. It's a little bit big, but of course it is very delicious. So until the next video, I will take a leave, and I will take a promise from you that you will subscribe the channel, you will like the video and share it with your friends and family. So until next video, take care of yourself. Ciao, bye.